I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Everything to me is everywhere. Oh my God. What can I explain? I'm feeling I'm not nobody else. Do nothing for me. Me have a son, but normally I'm a daughter do everything for me. Everything. Money work, cook, wash my clothes. Everything. Everything. So me no young again. Me have 59 December come me a 60 year old. I should do everything. Me get a strokes. No me fuck. Me can't do the right side. Oh God.
So you knew she was going to the funeral?
No, I when me come now, me used to say she go to the funeral, but if me didn't know she couldn't go. She couldn't go if me didn't know. Because she couldn't go, because we are here now say the people them here keep the funeral safe, she not got them and I go vex. So them and I would have to vex. Them and I would have to vex, because she wouldn't go. My daughter so lovely. Hearing she take care of other people. Take care of other people, Oh Jesus Christ.
How many children she?
She have one daughter. 1 year and about 2 months. Daughter just gone up the road with the father. Oh God.
So how you plan to survive now, since she's the one that does everything for you?
I don't know if her mother says she'll come here sometime, because me and her mother part of the way, and her mother says she'll come here sometime and see what is what and see what she can do. Baby, I'm alive, that I love her so much. I love her more than myself.
So tell us what kind of person she was, Mr. Carter.
She was a nice, loving, jovial, caring person. And when she don't know you, she reach out to you.
I heard that there's a long-standing rift in the area.
Yeah. It come from so far. And there's certain things we really can't tell. Because he said this thing, Father to you, but God no. Sit high and him look low. And you get justice from God. We tell you everything. If you swell up from there, you can't walk. Hospital admit, come out, the woman she look go me. Last week she said to me, say, you know, go back go work. And I tell her, say, I go work the first week in June. And she said to me, say, you have to go back go work. I go work the first week in June. So everything could say, alright then my father. I'm son that too, you know. A big son that too. This first week, that big son. My father me actually said, I hurt. I feel it. Feel it so much. She not cry, no gut, she nobody, she no malice nobody, she nobody, she no do nobody, nothing at all. I don't know why them kill my baby. Why them kill my people? Why make them kill her? I don't know for what reason. I don't know where it come off from. I don't know what she do them, because she not do them nothing. We nobody know war over nothing. A 45 years we live in that yard. 45 years we live in that yard. We live in that yard from a 17-year-old. And I'm 59 now.
Your grandfather who has her little son it is? Daughter.
She not just 26-year-old. She not reached no yet. She not lived no life yet. Really, because she know. My whole world comes falling down.
Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most, and what you just heard was the voice of Dennis Carter as he mourns the loss of his daughter. Dennis recently had a stroke earlier this year. He used to sell newspapers. He was a newspaper vendor, right? And basically he's saying it's better off that they had killed him, because his daughter was his everything. And since he had a stroke, his daughter is the one who's been helping him in every way, cook his food, clean his place up for him, so on and so forth. Anyhow, the backstory to this. One of the two, or two women rather, were killed. So 2 women were killed in a shooting in St. John's Road in St. Catherine, and the 2 women have been identified. The 2 women's pictures I'm showing you, those are the 2 women, and they have been identified as Tracy Ann Sr., who is otherwise called Mullo, of Parade Gardens, Kingston, and then one other one is called Onika Carter, and she's 28 years old, of George's Lane, Kingston. 2 women dead in gun attack on bus. Even picnic get shot, Even liquor picnic get shot. Now, 5 other people were injured, including a 40-year-old woman who received injuries to her head and her face, a 2-year-old boy who received injuries to his abdomen, and a 45-year-old woman who received injuries to her finger. They all are from George's Lane. Also injured were a 17-year-old girl from Rum Lane who received injuries to her right shoulder, and a 17-year-old boy from George's Lane who received injuries to his back. Reports are that about 5:30 p.m. yesterday, the victims went to the funeral service of Troy Terrelong, otherwise called Weed Seed, who was shot dead on January 28th. The victims, along with other people, were all seated in a coaster bus in Meadowrest Memorial Gardens in Spanish Town when they were pounced upon by several gunmen who opened gunfire on them. The injured victims were rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital by the police, where Senior and Carter, those 2 females, were pronounced dead. The other 5 people, they remain in hospital nursing their injuries. Now, before I go into the comments of what people are saying, to give you a backstory to this, this is war that's been going on for quite some time. I don't know, me say one person said genocide gang versus dark side gang is at war. I don't know. Let me say it again. I don't know the specifics of the war that has been going on. I'm not calling out nobody gang name because I'm not sure. If I was sure, I wouldn't have a problem calling out the names. But I am not sure, so I'm not calling out anybody's name and saying it's them. But this is a gang affair that's been going on, okay? And one of the common practices in gang war in these inner city areas is that they will shoot up the women. They will target specifically the women of that other side. So I guess if they kill off the women, it would seem more gruesome. And also, it's like your tribe cannot breed again, cannot multiply, cannot bring forth children. And we're going to leave some children traumatized. We're going to take away their mom. So man and man, they are war. And this is how they handle it. Now, according to this is something, as far as this goes, there were warnings that were put out before. I can't even talk straight. There were warnings that were put out before that anybody go to this funeral or get shot because we're going to shoot up the funeral. So warnings were put out before, right? Allegedly. I wasn't there, I don't know. So let me use the word allegedly. And according to this young lady's father in his voice note, he said that warnings were put out before. People did a walk and a talk. Said them did put out warning before. Said if anybody go at the funeral, them are going to shoot it up and them are going to get shot up. So if he was around when his daughter was getting ready to go to the funeral, him and her would have a vex because him would make her go. Now, at 26, 27, 28 years old, I don't think he could have stopped her from going to the funeral. But these are the common practices that happen in these areas. For the people who don't really understand these kind of dynamics of how these communities are ran and are built up, you see when a Don or a bad man, top tier bad man dead in an area, you're kind of obligated to go to the funeral. So one time the henchmen come out now and say, yo, woman and picnic and everybody are going to a funeral there. The people in the area kind of don't have a choice. It's just like when we had an incident in Jamaica where two sisters, young ladies, teenagers, came home and told their mom. I don't know if y'all remember the story. Came home and told their mom that mommy, the guys them in the neighborhood them ask for sex every day, and they're pressuring us. We have to walk that way, come home from school. So there's this one lady in the neighborhood who's raising her daughters correctly. Send them go to school, uniform look nice and everything. Everybody else around them is like Lego beasts, pretty much. So they kind of envy this lady for the way she's raising her daughters, right? She have her husband there too, so it's not she alone raising her. So her whole family structure is intact, but they're just in a messed up area. And eventually, the girls were killed. One was shot and killed, and the other one was shot, but she survived. But they were shot through their bedroom window. So somebody come up to them house, got in a them yard, and you know it's hot in Jamaica. Summertime, you're sleeping, you leave your windows open, even if, especially if you have some burglar bars on, you leave the windows open so you can air out the room while you sleep. Well, the gunman them stuck their hand in the window, shoot the girl, the teenage girl, while she was sleeping, injured her sister, killed her. Their intention was to kill both of them, right? The very next day, when the woman went to the media, the mother went to the media and she explained to the media what her two daughters told her. All the women in that community converged upon this woman's house at her gate with big old signs and placards telling this woman to leave them community, come out our community, cause no make we look bad. You know, no man round here, so now do nothing like that. It's not man from this area do it. They were able to mobilize all the women to go against this woman, to gather at her gate, to scare the living shit out of her, even though she was mourning the loss of a daughter and the injury of another daughter under such gruesome conditions. So this is to give you a clear dynamic of how this kind of an environment works, right? I heard one lady say, oh my gosh, I just saw the video of the funeral and the scene, and it was mostly women and children that were there. A bus pack up a woman and children mostly, and you shoot up the bus of women and children mostly. Why would you think that women and children would end up at a funeral where news was being passed around days before the funeral that anybody go at a funeral, they're going to get shot up? Why would you think women and children would still brave that threat, knowing that their area is at war? Because it's not a secret. As you can hear, that voice note that we just used came from the Gleaner. And the Gleaner reporter actually asked the father of the girl that was killed. He asked her. The reporter asked him, the reporter said, so what is this that's going on? You hear what the man said? He's very secretive about it as well. Two things I noted that he said in that voice note. One, he said, me I go get revenge for my daughter. He also said, this is something I can't really explain to you pan yaso. Meaning, I can't tell you them things there here. It's just something that's going on, been going on. So they are very aware. I would go to bat that even the women on the bus and the adults on the bus and even some of the children on the bus who are old enough to know actually know who would shoot up the place. But they fear. So a lot of people ask these questions like, oh, why them not just tell the police is who? Tell the police is who? You think I saw this work? Eh? By the time the police take forever and a day to do their investigations, everybody who talk could be dead. And then you're talking about, can Ketch Cuaco catch him shot? If you talk and police save you, your family is still left behind. So it is out of fear and intimidation that these areas are ran. But this is a reality. So sometimes when you see me do video, I say Jamaica is a paradise for some people. But for other people, it's hell on earth. Because living in these conditions and in areas like these, where it seems like the government, police powers, military powers have no control over this type of madness, and you have to just live in it and try your best to survive in it. No wonder there are dynamics and things happening like a Don can send for a girl. Imagine you have your daughter at home and the Don can send for your daughter because him say a time for her cherry get picked now. She bust breasts, her body look good, she look ripe. She ready, me want her. And the Don check your daughter, or send a man come check your daughter and say she have to report to him. These kind of things. That's very real. It happens. Matter of fact, there are certain places in Jamaica. I know quite a few men out of Jamaica who will tell you that me not date woman will come from that area yeah, or that area there. And you would ask them why. Because it's one Jamaica. For those of us who were born outside of these things, who can't understand how the place run, you would say, why? Why wouldn't you date a woman from that area? I mean, I know it says what we call ghetto area, but you know, enough good people in a ghetto area. Beautiful females, good, intelligent. In ghetto area, the brother them will tell you that, nah, sir, them spoil up from early. Because when man draw them where them couldn't say no, and as they grew older, it was man after man after man until they lost hope themselves. So them just used to like catching different man all the time. Enough of them rev out by the time them reach certain age. Because man of them are suck and backers and all these kind of things from early. People will tell you that, yo, when bad man and Don send for girls in them area, them have to go, you know. So me don't want no man from them the area there. And it's sad. But it is a reality. So while you're looking at Jamaica and you're hearing Bob Marley's music, One Love, and you're seeing the tourist ads and all that, just remember, so there's another side to it. And shout out to the people them who say, boy, you always talk about Jamaica, but you never talk about the bad things that are happening in the United States of America. The bad things that are happening in the United States of America, for your information, they are on front page and front street. And people are actively working. I've seen millionaires and billionaires go to prison. See, in Jamaica, we don't have no hope because people who are in positions of power control the narrative, and they're definitely never going to be prosecuted under the current laws and structure that there is. Besides, only because me live a foreign and me work a foreign and live here temporarily, this is a part of my journey. So because I'm living and working somewhere, studying somewhere, building somewhere, just so I can go back home to better myself there, you know, means I must be all consumed with foreign affairs. And the sad part is, when you say stuff about what's going on in Jamaica, there are people there to tell you why you're not talk about somewhere else. Like, really? You want we just sweep this under the rug? You want we just stay quiet about something like this? Is that what you really want to happen? This has been going on for too long in our society, but it is something that is not going to change anytime soon. So we can just look at this as the norm, okay? And not the first time funeral gets shot up. It's not the first time Badman funeral gets shot up. It's not the first time people been shot at or shot during a funeral procession or coming from a funeral ceremony. The word was put out. Everybody knows that the area is volatile. Everybody knows that war a gone. One person said, certain funeral people must not go because it is too risky. There's another reason why when you see people on video and them get shot up out in the streets, and you hear people on social media. See, when your foot are not in the shoes, you can talk. When you hear people on social media say, why somebody never just run over there and put him in a vehicle and take him to the hospital? I had one person said to me, SouFLo, the people them don't want to go because them know who that is. The youth that come from an area where war are gone. And you see, if you go out there and go try to rescue him, put him in a vehicle, drive him go hospital, your vehicle goodly get run off of the road or get shot up while you're trying to rescue him. So when you see the person laying on the ground dying and you see people around taking pictures and videos, they will allow you to do that because that's sending out their message even further in the world. We mash up that boy here and nobody couldn't help him. But if you go over there and you try to take him up and to carry him go to hospital, you probably get some gunshot too. That's why people just leave him. You know, we always say, oh my God, how come nobody is administering CPR? Lay him on his side in the recovery position. Put him in a vehicle, not carry him go hospital. Nobody around here knows CPR. It's not that. It's that people afraid. So one person says certain funerals you must not go because it's risky. And that is true. But that is when you have a choice. It's just like when election time come and you see the people them come out in their numbers. In certain areas, they don't have a choice. Them have to come out because politician done pass down him word to the Don them and the Don done pass down him word to the henchmen. Get the people out in them green tomorrow because so-and-so passing through, or get the people out in them orange tomorrow because so-and-so passing through, and we have to go out there in numbers. We are trying to win this election for so-and-so. That's just how the place is ran. My condolences to the families. My condolences to the families because, boy, this rough. Somebody says she's a Princess Street hairdresser. I don't know. Nikita Dorset says, I swear Jamaica is the worst place on earth to live. I'm so sad for the ladies who are living there. You see, that is one person's perception. Either they've lived through it or they're looking at it from the outside in and looking at it with a limited view. Jamaica can be heaven on earth, and it is for those who can experience that. And then Jamaica can be hell on earth, just like anywhere else. Right? So generalizing and saying that Jamaica is the worst place to live, it's the worst place to live for some people, not all people. Debbie Stewart said, did two girls them nice? No, Jaja. God, you see and you know. Francine Jarrett says, oh God, my friend, Onika, aka Coco. When I was at work yesterday and I saw my cuz post you, I was shocked. I cried. Even right now, I still can't believe it. Humble. Somebody say if you ever met a person that was humble, nice, genuine, but you know, people come and talk like that after you're dead. But the fact remains that you have died, and you have died a vicious and violent death. These men who shoot up a bus full of women and children and then run where go hide and brag about it, these are not bad man. Them are not gangster. These are excrements, the lowest of the low. But we all know that already. Look at how Jamaicans, or look at how black people handle gangsterism versus how, say, people like the Italian mob and the mafia handles gangsterism. They have rules. Women and children are protected and left out of it. The men are the warriors and they go to war. It's also about carrying yourself with class, elevating your social status, giving your family, especially your children, an opportunity to excel in society. But we just in this grab gun and kill. And a lot of the time, those who are shooting those guns, they are impoverished. Poor people. A killer of poor people. It's not like they're even killing for a lot of money. Or just some animosity. We have to do better than that. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Let's talk about this one some more. Are you familiar with these kinds of areas and the dynamics I just spoke about? firsthand familiar with? Or have you heard about these kind of things before? Because some people are very surprised that, is he talking about Jamaica? Like, really? Dons send for girls? Like, girl get draw away and can't say nothing in these areas? Yes. So our women are not only under attack by gunmen, as in gunmen shoot them up. You have lovers, boyfriend, ex-lovers, stab them up, shoot them up. Then you have human traffickers, draw them away, kidnap them end up in Haiti, them end up in Dominican Republic, them end up in Mexico in a strip club, them end up all over the world. So yes, our women are under attack. Our children are not safe. And our men seem to have lost their mind. Not all, but some for sure. And enough to raise serious concern. Hit that subscribe button. Catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.